Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just the Arrowverse as a whole. So we just had part 2 of the epic Elseworlds crossover between The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. Of course, we are wrapping it up later on today with part 3 on Supergirl. But in part 2, which was on Arrow, we headed off to Gotham City for the first time ever in the Arrowverse. And oh boy, was it like one hell of a trip. In this video, we are going to be going over all the Easter eggs and references I could find. I'm sure I've missed out on at least one little microscopic Easter egg in the corner of a quick shot or something like that. But I'm pretty sure I have found a few that no one is talking about, and all the major ones, and even the minor ones that everyone wants to be talking about. But of course, if I did miss out on any that you noticed, let me know in the comment section down below. I just predict it now. It's probably going to be one major one which I've just completely missed, but hopefully I haven't. But yeah, if I have missed out on any, let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know what was your favorite Easter egg as well, because there's heaps here, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have a favorite one that they did put in the episode. And of course, it would be awesome if you could show your support by dropping a like on the video, just for the effort, I guess, and just if you enjoyed it in general. So the first one is just Gotham City. That itself is an Easter egg, and that comes down to the fact that Chicago was used for Gotham City. Now, Chicago was used as the Gotham skyline as well in the first 2 entries in the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. So, you know, it was all at night, so it's hard to tell, but you might have been able to pick out a couple of buildings that were very similar, or if not the same, that you would have seen in the Dark Knight trilogy, or the first 2 entries. Vesper Fairchild is mentioned. Now, in the comics, she's exactly as she's presented in this crossover, a radio host. Except here, she's sleeping with Oliver Queen, when in the comics, it would have been her sleeping with Bruce Wayne. So a bit of a swap up there. Of course, the bat signal, enough said, do I really have to even dive into that one? Now, we do see Kara pull out a bust of William Shakespeare from a box in, I guess you would call it Kate Kane's office. I guess she's just using it as her office at the moment. But that isn't just any random bust of William Shakespeare. That bust is a direct reference to the 1960s Batman TV series with Adam West. In that series, the head of William Shakespeare would flip back, revealing a switch that, when, switched, would open a bookcase, revealing a couple of poles, not for dancing, but for descending into the Batcave. This was probably my favorite Easter egg, and one that many would have not really taken notice of, even though the episode focused on it, just because the series is so old, and I saw no one talking about it, so I was sort of surprised by that. Kate Kane's super fast elevator to the Batcave is very reminiscent to that of Bruce Wayne's in the Dark Knight trilogy, who was obviously played by Christian Bale, and how he accessed his Batcave was pretty fast as well. When the super crew of Oliver, Kara, and Barry are arrested when first entering Gotham City, we hear the GCPD officer calling for some backup. Now, he says they are on the corners of Nolan and Burton, as in Christopher Nolan, the director of the Dark Knight trilogy, and then Tim Burton, the director of Batman and Batman Returns from 1989 and I think 1991 or 2. The Wi-Fi password in Wayne Tower was Alfred, which is amazing. I mean, what else could it have been? Martha? Wait, why did you say that name? When posed with the threat of Kate Kane getting annoyed at them going around Gotham City as heroes, Kara says, unless she has some kryptonite stashed somewhere, I'm really not worried. Well, we know of Bruce, to hold on to some kryptonite just in the case of a rogue Superman or something. But this is Earth 1. We don't have Kryptonians here. But Oliver did have a kryptonite arrow in last season's crossover, so I guess we'll leave that as a 50-50 as to whether Kate had any kryptonite in her bat arsenal. Now, this is not really a straight up Batman Easter egg, but when the Earth 90 Flash initially made contact with the Geek Squad, his message was a bit chopped up due to him getting, or cutting in and out, which would be seen as similar to the moment in Batman v Superman when Bruce Wayne is visited by a future Barry Allen, so it was sort of similar to that. When Kara brings in Caitlin into Arkham Asylum and gives the reasoning behind why she should be admitted, which was essentially she freezes stuff, the receptionist didn't act surprised at all and said, we've got a few of those in here like that, obviously hinting at mainly a villain like Victor Freeze, aka Mr. Freeze. But speaking of Mr. Freeze, we do see his freeze gun, and it is actually used by his wife Nora Freeze, who we're used to seeing, frozen, but now she is all thawed out and running amok in the Arkham storage vault. I guess another little tidbit around that is that Nora Freeze was played by Cassandra Jean, who is Stephen Amell's wife. Stephen Amell, of course, being the man behind Oliver Queen, and I guess The Flash in this crossover. Now, Bane's mask is seen when Nora is like rummaging through the shelves. It looks extremely similar to the one used by Tom Hardy in The Dark Knight Rises. Whether it is supposed to be the same one is another question, but this was in the primer images. A lot of people saw this before the actual episode, so it was no surprise it was actually there for most of us. Now, next to the Bane mask, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a set of the Joker's chattering teeth. Now, from memory, these do nothing apart from like move around and like laugh. Like they aren't actually lethal, but I think that's a set of them. I might be wrong. But when you are at Arkham Asylum, you are definitely meant to see some evidence of Batman actually putting criminals away, right? Well, we got a few examples when we're walking down the hallways. So we see the cells of Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler, Basil Karlo, aka Clayface, Pamela Isley, aka Poison Ivy, and the worst of them all, Mark Guggenheim, a producer and writer on the crossover. What a lethal villain. Now, next to Edward Nygma, or the Riddler's cell on the wall, there is actually a riddle that says, "What is blue and grey and red all over?" And this could mean anything. However, I think this is suggesting that Batman's suit in the Arrowverse was like the blue and grey one that is seen as like the classic one to some in the comics. And in regards to red all over, well, I'm guessing a beaten up or dead Batman would be blue and grey and red all over. But I guess if Riddler was going for like a more of a comedic answer, red all over could suggest just an embarrassed Batman or something like that. Who knows? Now, we do see a box of fear toxin get knocked over and released, which leads to Barry and Oliver fighting up made up versions of both the Reverse Flash and Dark Archer. This is, of course, the fear toxin of Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow. It does even say Crane.J on the box. Now, this was actually a missed opportunity here. It should have had like a Reverse Flash played by John Barrowman and a Dark Archer played by Tom Cavanagh. Is it just me who wanted that? Like, if you're going to swap the heroes around, swap the arch enemies around as well. Like, that, they aren't real. Like, they are imaginary at this point. So you have like the free, the free range to do anything here. So they should have done that. Now, on the floor of that room where Nora Freeze attacks Caitlin and where Barry and Oliver fight their arch enemies, there is a random boomerang on the floor. I don't know if this is suggesting that Captain Boomerang spent some time in Arkham. It would be random if he did, but who knows? There is a boomerang randomly there. Maybe this could have something to do with maybe... this could obviously be a reference to like maybe the Suicide Squad entering Arkham or something like that. That'd be pretty cool, like an Assault on Arkham reference almost, like that animated movie. That'd be a cool little reference if that's why the boomerang was there, but who knows. Also on the floor near the boomerang, I believe are penguin bombs. So like the little timed explosives with little legs to like, well, waddle over to a target. I might be wrong, but they do look like that. You don't get the best shot of them, but they do look basically like a ball with little tiny feet on them. So I'm thinking they're penguin bombs. And another quick one to add, this thing in between the penguin bomb and the boomerang could be one of Joker's like joy buzzers or hand buzzers. You know, the one specifically from the 1989 Tim Burton movie where he like fries someone to death with it. I think this could be that. It looks a bit weird, but I just have a feeling that that's what it is. But let me know if you agree with me in the comments. One of the escapees of Arkham Asylum that is given a focus is that of Psycho Pirate, who was the dude with like the golden mask. Now that mask in the comics can like manipulate your emotions, but the most intriguing part about the character is that he does play a pretty sizable role in the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. So let's hope that this introduction in this episode is like some sort of setup for that. Kate Kane or Batwoman talks about how Supergirl and herself would make the world's finest team. This could obviously be a reference to the first Flash and Supergirl crossover episode, which was called World's Finest. However, this is most likely in reference to the comic series of the same name, as it was like the first comic series to like regularly feature team-ups between Batman and Superman. And I will include the major Easter egg in the episode that had many freaking out, and that is of course when the Earth 90 Flash arrives in Argus and asks why Diggle isn't wearing his ring, suggesting that Diggle on his Earth of the Earth 90 is either John Stewart, a Green Lantern, or that John Diggle is just a Green Lantern. Diggle becoming a Green Lantern has been a long-running theory in the Arrowverse for many seasons from many fans, so it was actually like amazing to have the shows reference it. Now there is actually one Easter egg which I'm not too sure is an Easter egg, and that actually has to do when Kate Kane actually goes down to the place where her suit is kept, like I guess her own like personal bat cave. I have seen some people referencing, and I sort of thought about it at the same time as well, that this could be like, it was all like watery and there was like trees coming out and stuff like that. I was wondering if this was in relation to Batwoman's New 52, the hydrology arc, where I think it was La Llorona, it was the villain, essentially like the Weeping Widow or the Weeping Lady, I can't remember what her name was, where essentially it was like a water, like a hydrokinetic abilities or something like that. I'm not too sure if that's what they were going for with her base, with all the water and like the tree roots and stuff coming out, and even like the tree sort of root stuff going around her suit. I don't know if they were referencing that. It was hard to tell, but that's another possible Easter egg. But I wasn't confident enough to actually put it as a proper Easter egg in this video because I'm sort of like 50-50 on it. But thanks guys for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, it would be awesome if you could show your support by dropping a like on it to show support for either the channel, myself, or just the video, or if you just enjoyed it in general. Of course, if I did miss out on any Easter eggs, for some reason I'm just worried I've missed out on a major one. I don't think I have, but if I missed out on any, let me know in the comment section down below which one they are, and if you have like some possible ones as well, because as I said, that La Llorona one could be one, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you have any ones that you sort of like 50-50 on, let me know in the comment section down as well, and I might go back and have a look and confirm or deny it. But yeah, let me know all of those opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.